Binomial probability is a measure of the probability that a certain number of successes will happen in a set number of trials. So what we're going to do is we're going to perform an experiment a number of times, a set number of times, and we're going to count how many times we're successful in that. To see what this actually means, let's take the following situation, where we have 7 coins, and now each coin we can either flip a heads or a tails. So the set number of trials is 7 because we're going to flip 7 coins. So we're going to flip the same coin 7 times. And so a success here would be either a heads or a tails. In this case, we're going to make heads a success. So what we're doing is we're trying to find the probability of getting a certain number of heads when we flip these 7 coins. The equation to compute the binomial probability of an event happening is P, open parentheses, X equals R, close parentheses, equals NCR, P to the R, Q to the N minus R. NCR is the number of combinations that we can get, or all the different combinations that we could get while doing this experiment. N is the number of trials, or the number of times we flip the coin. R is the number of successes, or the number of times that we got heads. P is the probability of success, the probability that we'd flip a heads. And Q is the probability of failure, or the probability that we don't get a heads, or a tails in this case. Now let's go back to the coin flip experiment that we looked at earlier. So we want to know what's the probability of getting, let's say, 3 heads when we flip the 7 coins. Since we are wanting to flip 3 heads, our R value actually is 3. So we'll go ahead and plug 3 in for every instance we have an R. And then N is 7 because we're going to flip the coin 7 times. So we'll go ahead and plug in 7 for N. Now the probability of success and the probability of failure is the same in this case because we're using a fair coin. So the probability is 1 out of 2. So we'll go ahead and plug that in for P and Q. Now there's 35 different ways we can arrange 7 coins so that we get 3 heads. We'll go ahead and replace the 7 choose 3 with 35. Then we can also replace the 7 minus 3 with just a 4. Now 1/2 raised to the 3rd power is 1 over 8. And 1/2 raised to the 4th power is 1 over 16. 1 over 8 times 1 over 16 is 1 over 128. Now when you take 35 and multiply it by 1 over 128, you get 0.27, and this is the probability of flipping 7 coins and getting 3 heads. Or in other words, 27% of the time when you flip 7 coins, you should get 3 heads.